Sure, certainly. And firstly, congratulations on this amazing summit. I think it's absolutely the need of the hour today. And I'm really happy and feel privileged to be a part of it. So, congratulations, Sainath, Rajni, Niharika, Deepthi, and the entire team at Strong Human Network.
Thank you.
Really happy to be here and share my thoughts. So Rajni, you actually said it quite aptly, right? Because financial sector itself, the domain is so large, you cannot actually pinpoint whether the gender diversity balance is okay, or is it subpar, or is it very good. You cannot have a definitive answer to that, right? So because if you look at the domain of the financial sector itself, right, you have right from your retail banking, you have your retail NBFC, and then you have on the corporate side you have corporate banking, and then when it comes to investment banking that I'm a part of, right, over there also the spectrum is quite broad, because you have your public markets, all your equities and debt instruments that are publicly traded, and then you have your private markets, which is essentially these kind of financial instruments, but then you're primarily dealing with privately held companies, right? So the space is quite broad, and for me personally, I have had the experience of working in the investment banking domain, and this is across both the public market side as well as the private side, and currently I am with Avendus Capital, where we work with marquee consumer internet startups, which is primarily on the private side, right? So I will restrict my observations to the investment banking side. And over here, what I would say is that traditionally we've seen, very few women, right? Because the historical perception of the sector has been, it's very cutthroat, super competitive. You need to, in addition to hardworking, you probably have to be very, manipulative, or it's probably the only exposure that we as Indians, we've had to the spaces whatever we've seen in like foreign movies, etc., especially after the 2008 crisis, right? So we see a very glamorized and honestly a very different side of what it actually is. And so yeah, currently, I mean, there are very few women, either whether you talk about it at the entry level, and of course there are very few women leaders in the space. Having said that, I feel that the environment is changing. Organizations are increasingly recognizing the importance of diversity and focusing on it as well as implementing it. Here, I should mention, the founding of WinPE Development Forum by a very dynamic and inspiring leader, Ms. Nupur Garg. She was the regional lead for South Asia at IFC, which is International Finance Corporation. She has been very instrumental in educating organizations on the importance of diversity and also helping them think through how to implement it, and on the other hand, equipping women with the right skills to enter and be successful in the sector. Okay. The other thing about diversity in the financial sector is that it flows from the top of the funnel, which is your MBA graduates, so to speak, right? And how many girls actually get to join these MBA institutes and thereafter join the financial services sector and then continue and build long-term careers in the sector, right? So I would summarize by saying three things. One is that the financial services sector is a very large domain. Some subsectors have a higher percentage of women, like you mentioned. So you'll probably see more women in retail banking, retail NBFC, corporate side, etc. While some other subsectors have traditionally been male dominated and are only now beginning to see more of diversity coming in, right? And within investment banking and the world of investments, yes, it is a high priority agenda across every financial organization today. And not just in an idealistic way, we are also looking at it with a real path to implementation, right? And thirdly, I feel it's more of an ecosystem approach, right? With colleges firstly recognizing it. I mean, you've heard of MBA institutes actively looking to diversify the student base, to increase the percentage of women that get admission into these colleges. And then there are these industry forums which help, both individuals and organizations accomplish this objective, right? So having said that, I would firstly like to take a step back and understand, why bother about diversity in the first place, right? So suppose I am a founder of a company, right? And I need my work to get done, and I don't care if a girl does it or a guy does it. Right? So why think about diversity, and why think about focusing on implementing it? So let's firstly, let's look at the definition of work itself. To me, work is nothing but it's a never-ending cycle of A, prioritizing, and B, chasing efficiency. There are literally only two truths about work. One is that it never ends. It's been 7 years and counting right now, but I've never found my to-do list empty, right? So, tasks are always piling on, and every day it's just a struggle of, what needs to get done right now versus what can wait another day. Okay. And the other truth about work is that it can always be done faster, right? So other than the time that, you're sleeping, or, you're just chilling and watching Netflix, you're working all the time. You're working in the kitchen, you're working for your kids, you're working professionally, you're working on yourself, you're working all the time, right? And women, by nature of our existence, right, we have to juggle and implement both prioritization and efficiency many more times in a day than men. Okay, so a typical 24-hour period in an average woman's life looks very different from a 24-hour period of that of an average man, right? So for example, my mother, she's been working for 35 years plus now with an insurance company. In addition to that, she's also been helping my father throughout in his business for 20 plus years. She has taken care of, my entire education and upbringing. She has taken care of the food at home. She has taken care of, the investments of the family income. And she has juggled all of these complex tasks. And literally today, I do not know a more clinical planner than her in my life, right? So this is what I think as to what women bring to an organization, right? By and large, with more women in an organization, you will see a better productivity and better prioritization and better efficiency, right? And without the bias of, say, hey, I'm a woman, so I'm going to raise my voice for women issues. I truly believe that, we should have more women in the workforce. Sure. Thanks, Rajni, for the question. And because I think, we're all talking about increasing percentage of women in the workforce. I think the next question is, how do you sustain it, and how do you have, more women like Mala ma'am who, spent 25 years plus in the industry and thriving and, being very successful and being mentors to, other women in the industry, right? So definitely, I'm really hoping and excited about this particular change, which is, definitely want to see women take larger roles in organizations. And I mean, we're getting there, right? From the entry level, colleges are recognizing it. We're seeing more women in the entry level. And then with the right ecosystem support, there will be a change from, what Mala ma'am was mentioning, that, maybe after a kid, their priorities change, or Sadhna ma'am was mentioning that, once you become a mom, there are other priorities, and you yourself are your last priority, right? So that should change with an ecosystem approach, and we end up seeing more women in the mid-level as well as the senior level. So that's point number one. Point number two, I feel, is organizations have to be able to accommodate the slight variabilities in a woman's schedule owing to her various responsibilities, right? And this comes down to fundamentally how we operate, right? So for example, I think a lot of women have had a relatively good time, because of the work from home situation. I think there are women who've been able to continue their jobs in an otherwise environment where they would have had to, go for a career break, right? So that was a welcome thing. But now, as organizations are now saying that, hey, we have to get back to office and because that's where the primary workplace is, right? So just few things like being mindful of what time you're physically off work, as women or as mothers having various responsibilities, and therefore whatever needs to be discussed or prioritized for an in-person discussion, it gets done within the work hours, so that the rest of the work or some other non-collaboration bits can happen thereafter, right? Being very conscious of that. And secondly, being very flexible on communication, right? So for example, do we need so many in-person meetings? Do we need so many calls? Just optimizing on all of that, and being very flexible for women, because at entry level, women, they are like fresh out of college graduates, and then as their personal life changes, right? So they become wives, they become mothers, etc. Organizations need to be able to adapt to that in order to keep the employee engaged with them for a long time, right? And the third thing is women being more vocal on the issues they face and trying to balance it out with the organization as against leaving the workforce altogether. And this kind of comes also from the fact that whether you have like a mentor or you have somebody in the organization who you believe will listen to you and your issues. And because a lot of, honestly, I mean, I feel when women leave the job, it's honestly their last choice, because you put your sweat and blood into it, you've learned so much, right? It's not, I mean, you're not going to throw away the job at the drop of a hat. It's probably the last choice only when you've exhausted all of your other options. So having not to do that is a big change that I would like to see in the future. And lastly, I am really hoping and rooting for a society mindset changing, right? Society giving that kind of importance to a woman's career. Currently, a woman's income is treated as secondary. Nahi bhi aayega to chalega, because the man is the principal
sole breadwinner,
right? So considering her career to be equally important and helping her out by the ecosystem around her, that I'm hoping will help improve our situation and help us have long-term careers spanning 40 years plus.